Hello my friends, my name's Darren from RC Scale Models, and today we have another kit review for you. This is from AFV Club, 1/48 scale. This is the aircraft that was in the Top Gun, the enemy aircraft. So this is basically a fictional scheme and aircraft and stuff, but the real aircraft was used in the film was known as a US F-5E Tiger or Tiger Cat aircraft, so F5. The Navy used it for a trainer, so this one is used on the box art is the one from the film, which you can do, and you get two other variants which are in black, which are Navy trainers and stuff. There is a little bit of information in the kit to do with the movie and whatever. If you just recently checked out the other two videos that I've done on the Top Gun aircraft from Revell, I managed to find this one because I wanted to get some other aircraft to do with the Top Gun series. So this is one I managed to find from, like I say, AFV. The kit came out 2010, the original, and this one here you see of the MiG-28, that's what it's portraying as. This kit was released in 2014, so this is a Rebox but with new decals and stuff, and new box art and whatever. So let's take a look what we get inside. Kit number is AR48S09. This is one of the other schemes you can do from the Navy training school, whatever, Top Gun training school probably. So it's all black, number 6, the US markings on the side, Navy, and then it's obviously got a symbol to mimic Russia or whatever the star means. You do get some weapons, but this here is asking for more external weapons. So if you want to add more weapons, basically, you can buy the weapon kit. So it's a bit like how a bit similar to how Hasegawa do theirs, where you buy an airplane and then to buy weapons for it, you have to buy it separately, which is a bit of a con in my opinion. It's quite a small box, like quite thin. It's a top opening box, which is nice. Inside the box you get other aircraft, so it's more F5s you can do. There's Tomcat that they've done. I do like this F5 here from the Swedish display team. That's pretty cool. We've got some other kits inside there. We are greeted with the decals, a little bit of photo etch, your worksheet, history to do with the film and stuff, and then you've got two main sprues, weapons and fuel tanks, a little bit of glass, and we do get a nice picture of the box art, but we'll take a closer look at this now. So here's the instruction sheet. If you wish to read that information, pause the video. On your first page, we are greeted with different type of F5s and what type of year they come out. So this F-5E 1963, so forth, 1970s, different variants. Colour callouts, they're asking for guns, Humbrol, Revell, strange colours manufacturers to use, but nonetheless. Your first step is down the bottom, is working with the ejector seat and cockpit floor. There is aftermarket out for this. I have checked it. I am going to buy the Edward PE set and cockpit resin, not cockpit resin, but the photo etch, coloured photo etch for the cockpit. I'm going to buy for this. Your second step is the instrument panel, your pedals, flight stick. We have, what is that piece? that's to do with the behind the pilot. You hear the front two noses come together, and you sandwich in all the detail in between. You have the front of the what do you call it? It's the piece that goes over the top of the instrument panel. I'm not actually sure what you call that. Your nose code going on. Make sure you've got it the right way up, because if you have it upside down, the nose is going to point upwards. So just make sure you've got it the right way round before committing to glue. You have the spine of the aircraft. You've got the two sides. Sandwiching your wings together and dropping down the spine of the aircraft. You have the two intake sections going together. You have the flaps going on, and ailerons and rudder on the wings. We have the back of the aircraft with the wings as well, and looks like a structural piece as well to hold the wings into place. The wings have a bar in the middle, so it allows the whole tire wings to pivot. You're working on the engines and the burner cans and stuff. Again, you make sure you've got the engines in the right place, because if you have the engines run the wrong way, they're going to be a gap in between, and you don't want the gap, you want them side by side. So make sure you've got the engines in the right place. There's a nice picture of what the engines would look like, so you probably want to use iron or burnt iron or burnt metal effect. So I'll use the AK range, AK extreme metals for that. Yeah, put in once you've done the front assembly and built the back up, it all gets slotted in. Tail fin going in, the two ends for the missiles, landing gear assembly, and then you've got the two other landing gears left and right, two-piece wheels, which is pretty cool. But I'm never a fan of two-piece wheels, but I have checked this out already, and those wheels seem okay. The detail on this kit is superb. We have got the flaps open or closed. Then we have extra fuel tanks going in, which would be a centre fuel tank and two missiles on the wings. You can have missiles, or you can have, what is this? I don't know what that is. You've got some kind of thing, probe things that sits on the side. I don't know what that is. I would like to know what that is. Anyone knows what this is, please comment down in the comments what that is, because it doesn't actually say in the instructions what that is. We have the first scheme. It's calling out for flat black, but I've checked out the real picture of this aircraft. It's actually quite shiny, so I wouldn't go with flat black. It would probably be like a gloss black. Number 6. We have the second scheme. Again, this one is the same. They're calling out fat black, but again, I've checked it out and it's actually shiny again, like number 6. So I'll go with gloss. And this one's got a little bit of red around the intakes. So this is the Strike Fighter Squadron VFA 127. And then you have the fictional scheme from the movie Top Gun. This is the one I'll be doing. This is the reason why I bought the kit. Some advertisement from other F5s that are out there. I would like to get this one here, the Swedish display team. That's pretty cool. You got the Sundowners scheme, pretty cool. There's a Top Gun trainer, but not from the movie. That's today modern trainer that what they're using. And then on the back you got your sprue map of everything is in the kit. Like I mentioned, you do get a nice picture of the box art, so this would be nice in the frame, which is a nice touch for them to do that. We have a tiny bit of photo etch. It looks like mirrors that go around the inside of the canopy, and I think these other pieces are to do with the cockpit floor. The decals. Nicely, quite shiny, and they're quite glossy. They're printed in Italy. It doesn't actually say who the manufacturer is that prints them, but I imagine it. Hopefully, it might be Cartograph. Hopefully, but the Cara film's quite chunky in some places, so I might trim that up a little bit when I come to commit to putting these on. So this is the one I'll be using from the movie. I think you get enough to do 2 schemes out of this. So here we are with the first bag. I'm not going to do it in no particular order. There's a knife. So we have this large sprue here, contains the lower section of the airframe. This sits at the back here. This is part of the cockpit section. Your external fuel tanks. There's that front piece I keep getting wrong, is near the cockpit area. Part of the intakes, but like I mentioned with the detail, it's panel lines and rivets galore. It's nicely done. Even inside the wheel wells, it's superb. Ejection pins are on the inside, which you're never going to see. Attention of detail, putting the ejection pins in the right places. The detail on the fuel tank is not too bad, but all over the aircraft, it's, like I say, it's rivets galore. This one here is a mixture of raised and recessed. I don't know if it's meant to be like that, but they've done it like that. See, like this one here, all this is recessed, but then around here is raised. We got these flaps, part of the intake system, I think this is. We have this wing spar, I believe, of some sort. There's that piece for the cockpit. We have the arrestor hook. We have this bag here, contains more fuel tanks and a couple of missiles. 2 identical sprues. So we have, there's the detail on the wheel, and that's pretty good for plastic, in my opinion. Small detail parts, I think this is to do with the landing gear, if I'm not mistaken. You do get a board and ladder. More fuel tanks. Couple of pylons, hard points for your weapons to go onto. There's one of the missiles. You will have to attach the extra fins. One of the ejector seats. You have got an insert to go in there. There's the pedals. So there's a nice sprue there, nicely done. So you get 2 of these. Sorry about that, guys. We have the Nosecone. Again, attention to detail is superb. A tiny little bit of flash on the front of that. Be easy taken care of. Yeah, again, attention to detail, rivets, panel lines, all nice and crisp and clean. It's just amazing, especially for this detail. I've never built an AFV Club aircraft before. I've got a couple of vehicles of theirs, like a couple of tanks and stuff, but I've never actually built an aircraft. Again, not nicely done. This is the front of the aircraft. I presume this section here on the side is probably to do with the cannons and access to the cannon point, so you can reload it and armor it. We have this piece here, which is your engines and the back spine of the aircraft. What is that? If that's flash, I'm going to take that off. If it's the aerial, I'm just going to replace it anyway with stretch sprue. So here's the spine of the aircraft again. Attention to detail is superb. A little bit of dirt there, but yeah, attention to detail to this is amazing. I think this is really good and clean. Hopefully the fit is pretty good. Hopefully it goes together nicely, just as good as it looks. Here's the part of the engines. Tiny engines, but probably a lot of power, a lot of thrust. Power to rate ratio is probably quite high for this aircraft. We have the clear and quick expansion. Doesn't look like there's a centre seam, which is nice. So here's the clear. You do get two types of canopy. I don't know why that is, and just in case you might make a mistake or there's a slight difference in the opening one. But again, as I say, no centre seam, so nicely done. You don't get a mast set with this kit. You have to source an Edward set for this, which I will get. There's the front, couple of lights, and the clarity should be pretty good. We have this bag here, contains Cockpit, I believe. Yeah, so you have your Cockpit tub. There's a couple of ejector pins on the inside, but the ones on the side, the one in the middle, you're not going to see because your seat's going to sit in the middle, so it's going to cover that. You've got your instrument panel parts going on the side, so you're not going to see that. You've got some equipment stuff that goes on the back, so you're not going to see those ejector pins either. So they put them in places where it's all going to be hidden, which is nice. Nicely done. I think these are covers as well for landing gear. Again, no ejector pins. So you find with some manufacturers, they fucking, excuse my language, but they put ejector pins on the centre, and it bugs the hell out of me. We have these two sprues. We have looks like these are identical. Not see any difference. Yeah, so this is exactly the same. So if you do mess up, no, sorry, tell a lie, these are different. Because if you look at this instrument panel to this instrument panel, there is differences. So we will look at this separately. There is a couple of pieces difference. So we have another ejector seat, landing gear doors, your nose cone. Again, they say get it the right way around because otherwise it's going to point up. Flaps, more doors. Again, no ejector pins on the middle, so it's nicely done. Here's the cockpit detail. It's all three-dimensional 3D effect, so nice painting and dry brushing and all that kind of thing. It could bring out this detail really nicely. You could get away with just using that, or if you fancy the Edward set, it's up to you. But I'm probably going to go with the Edward set. So we have this other one, which again looks the same, but the instrument panels are slightly different, and I think the nose cone is slightly different as well. Again, you've got the flaps, and then yeah. So there's the if you look at the two cockpits, this one and this one, there is difference in between the cockpit. So again, nicely detailed on the cockpit. The flaps again, no ejector pins. They have the ejector pins on the outside. Nose cone, more flaps. It's nicely done, that is. Last sprue contains your wings. An F-5 is quite a small aircraft. Even in 148 it's tiny. So we have the wings. The wings are moulded as one piece, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like one piece, but I think you have a little bit to go on there as well, only a tiny bit. But again, attention to detail, rivets, panel lines, nice and clean and crisp, both sides. We have the upper stabilizer fin. There's that. There's your back wings, rudders, flaps. Here's that giant, long, skinny piece, which I don't know what it was. Like I mentioned, if you do know what this is, comment in the comments what that piece of equipment is. I think it's like a laser system or something, or maybe, I don't know. You have these hard points for weapons. More. Oh, these are your flaps and ailerons and stuff to go into your wings. Landing gear doors again. I think this is another board and ladder. More landing gear segments, which is here. Nicely done. And there's all the rivet detail all over the flaps. Superb. There's your front wheel, because it's a tricycle landing gear. It comes as two-piece. So there we are, my friends, another kit from AFV Club, 148 scale, F-5 Tiger, but it's portraying as the MiG-28 from the movie Top Gun. That's the one I'll be doing. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.